Here we go, brand new THONAR Holy Relic, and I've been really enjoying doing the SKOLL and HATI battle ever since the Ultimate SKOLL released, and I feel like with this new THONAR Holy Relic, a lot more of you guys are going to be getting a lot more completions, and it is going to make the ease of doing this raid so much easier. I've already gone ahead and done a run with the brand new Purgatory Meliodas. Was super easy. Although the team didn't have the greatest survivability in the world, the sheer fact that we could go through all of these phases, even on the third and final floor, 2 turns or 3 turns tops, it was so good. And then with the extra stats of the Holy Relic, getting up to 40% lifesteal, you throw out an attack and then you're straight back to full HP. And then combine that with the Brunhold ultimate, ended up being a pretty fun team. But this is going to be pretty much the usual team I like to run. Who knows, after how well the Meliodas fared, I may end up using that team instead. But I'll quickly go over the THONAR's Holy Relic here. Both increase allies' HP related stats by 10% up to 4 times, and fills ultimate move gauge by 1 orbit whenever the hero uses skill in the Demonic Beast battles. So really good Holy Relic, definitely going to help increase the speed in which you're going to be able to do this one. Overall, it is going to be very important to get. In this first floor here, really just trying to save up any good cards, build up your ultimates for that third and final phase. Would highly recommend building up the THONAR cards and the Freya cards, the stance cancel ones. Definitely want to go ahead and have those. Maybe sometimes if you accidentally use them and stuff for the, just dealing damage, I'd highly recommend holding onto them. You'd maybe even be better off using heal cards, stuff like that, because if by any chance you miscalculate the damage, you can of course go ahead and reset the app. You'll be able to do your turn again, but very good to hold on to those, as you see I'm doing here. Definitely next cards throughout are the Ult Removal card, the Freya card. We'll kind of see where I go. If you can go ahead and save up a level 2 heal as well from the Liz, that'll also make it so you can remove the Infect, which is very important in this phase. Really want to try and especially in some of the later floors, use your ultimate, maybe even just a THONAR ultimate to try and get through this one, just because the amount of damage that you can end up taking in this phase, especially with the fact you can't get your HP back, it can be a little bit of a tricky one, that's for sure. I think I end up messing up this phase a little bit on one of the second or third floors, and it makes it last a whole lot longer, and then I end up using the ultimate anyway, so could have gone into the final phase with a little bit more health, but THONAR should be able to finish off with this attack. Oh no, just barely missed it, but that's alright. I will of course at the end of the video go over all of the gear sets, all that kind of stuff, and ways you could build your characters. This is one of the big reasons why I'd reset this floor as well. The passive there you saw with the big blade going across it, you want to go ahead and reset till you get that passive. Both of the other passives are very hard to go ahead and do with. It is still doable by all means. I did actually go ahead and finish the melee one with the defense passive, I believe, which is not the worst one. The one with the purple eye is definitely going to make your life a whole lot harder, but you'll see here as well within the next couple turns, I do go ahead and mess up this final phase and have to reset a couple times, see what kind of works out. But if you guys don't know how this final phase works, pretty much have to go ahead and finish off the 2 dogs in the 1 card. Sometimes maybe holding onto an AoE ultimate to throw it off just to ensure you do enough damage is a good way to do it. I kind of just like to throw mine off at the beginning because, we can kind of dwindle their health down a lot faster and see what we want to do a whole lot sooner. But other than that, it is a little unfortunate they put such a hard gimmick on the first floor, because I can imagine that'll make a whole lot of people's time on this floor a whole lot more difficult. And I mean, once you get past this, the second and third one are a lot more of just a, how well built your characters are, all that kind of stuff. As you see, SKOLL would have gone ahead and killed the SKOLL there, which would have fully healed the HATI and then inflates his stats massively to the point where you're pretty much guaranteed to die. So we changed it up a bit, figure why not, I'll go ahead and weaken the HP just a little bit more on this turn. I would try and say to hold on to a buff cancel for a later turn, just in case he puts up the taunt. He does get a little bit more tanky. This is the HATI I'm talking about. Definitely don't want to have to deal with that one there. And I believe I still managed to mess this one up just one more time, but I believe we're able to use the heals, get to full HP, and then go ahead and move on to the final one. You don't necessarily have to have full HP going into the second or third floor, but it's definitely going to help, especially on your Elizabeth and your THONAR. They can end up taking a lot of damage real easy, and it's pretty much the only character they're really going to want to go for. But there we go, there's that one there, and then watch just how tanky this one gets. SKOLL will tank both of the Scorch SKOLL cards and barely even take any damage after the fact. So we go ahead, we do one more reset, and then I believe this is the one where we finally get the dream run that we've been looking for. Ideally don't even have to heal, because as long as we're throwing out SKOLL cards, he's going to do more than enough damage to lifesteal all of his stats back, especially with the fact that we haven't been frozen and lost any of our stats. So after this card alone, I believe he should be fully topped up on the HP there. And then Freya will go ahead and finish off the Hardy. But moving on to the second floor here, I don't think I get ideal rolls for the passive on this one either, but first time clear rewards as well are very, very nice. I think after this week's rotation, I should have all of the Holy Relics done. I think I just have to go ahead and do the Nanashi, which is very nice. Pretty much just going to be using the same standard hand every single time. Holding onto the heal card once again for the merges for the second phase. Holding onto both of these stance cancels and then just trying to dish out as much damage as early as possible. The ult removal card, THONAR barely ever doesn't hit patience on these later floors, so if you can get it to merge and just not take up as much room, it'd be nice, but kind of unfortunate. She just has a fodder card in her hand. Yeah, once again, this one will pretty much be the exact same as the third floor. Also, so glad they made this skin match up so well with the Holy Relic. I absolutely love when they do that with characters. Actually, Nanashi, who we were just speaking about, is another perfect example of that. Has a passive that matches so nicely. Go ahead and use the heal there. Just to maximize card draw, we're pretty much fully topped up, but I'm just thinking if we're able to pull more damage cards, we should be just fine. And another mistake I do here, using the buff cancel at the end of the turn, if we had used that at the beginning, we could have gotten a lot more damage out, but once again, just smaller things you can optimize, even in these earlier floors, not just going into the final one. Let's see, and as you can see, I obviously have the Tamil Grace on THONAR, because definitely not the tankiest, considering she has the full crit resistance gear. There we go, put that one up, and thankfully, we saved our stance cancel there, and then SKOLL should be able to get the job done. And we can move on to the second phase. I mean, once you get the hang of SKOLL and Hardy, I feel like it becomes a lot more easier, and I feel like SKOLL's release, just like the Festival Winged King did on the Bird Raid, any of these newer units are going to be absolutely steamroll this floor. I mean, you guys should see just how well Melee did. He's a little bit lackluster on the damage where he doesn't have his passive procced, where he gets all the insane damage buff, but he can do stuff like 400,000 on level 1 cards, but we have all of our ultimates saved up here. At this point, it's hard to have a lot of really good damage dealing cards, so we throw out the THONAR ultimate. Not super good damage. I believe my THONAR is 3 or 4/6. I'm not 100% on that. We can go ahead and check that at the end of the video as well, but still able to get him below half HP in this first turn, which means we'll easily be able to finish him off in the second, as long as we don't get really, really bad cards. Yeah, SKOLL. SKOLL single target card will definitely be able to do the job here, and I mean, especially considering how easy this raid has been able to be with the release of this one. If you guys have any suggestions on teams you'd like to see, or even units you'd like to see me use in this raid, because I feel like pretty much any of the run hard teams or the Skadi teams, I think it is, should be able to clear this one super, super easily. I think this is where I go ahead and mess up the damage. Yeah, could have gone for something different here. I don't know why I'm doing that one, but why not? We end up messing this one up. We continue onwards. The ultimate's going to come out anyways from THONAR. And because we went ahead and used our stance cancel card, going to have a little bit of a tough time getting through this one, but I think we're still just able to push through. Do we manage to get it? Yeah, look at just how much weaker all of these cards are after the fact. Wow, I'm surprised we actually managed to get through this one. Is this actually going to kill, or are we going to waste another turn? Okay, just barely, wow. And yeah, this final one. Okay, so we did actually manage to get the optimal passive there. For this second floor, best one, just as we saw there, is the poison passive, and the worst one would have to be the one with the closed fist. Definitely don't want to get that. This one, don't have to worry about killing the dogs at the same time, so we go ahead, we kill Hardy first. He'll put ignites on you, you simply want him dead just for survivability's sake, and then we use the single target on the end there, just to make sure that we go ahead and attack SKOLL with that one. He's a little bit tanky, but you're still able to get through him pretty easily. And then the fact that we have the Elizabeth heal here as well should be just fine, keeping everyone fully topped up for the final phase. Is here, they end up doing a lot more, and then some of the passives can really screw you over. Once you have debuffs on you, you can end up taking a lot more, lower your crit resistance. So Elizabeth actually tanked fairly nicely there for character I don't have cosmetics upgraded for. And then yeah, just a matter of time of slowly dwindling them down. In this one, it does take a little bit, but I mean, these floors end up taking a little bit. With any good team, you should be able to finish these in round about an hour. Super unfortunate our Escanor got frozen there because he ends up losing all of the stats from the Thonar Holy Relic in her passive. Poison debuffs, we can cleanse those off. I end up going for this one here, and then I realize that if we go ahead and use an Escanor or a Freya card, we're able to go ahead and get a little bit more value. Rest of it should be pretty easy. The Escanor ultimate should be able to go ahead and prop revive, which is the grey symbol above SKOLL, and then the Freya ultimate can kind of finish things off, but he's super low regardless here. The exact same thing can happen on the third and final floor with the revives, so you generally want to try and get rid of them pretty quickly. It is also kind of a damage race. If you don't end up killing them within the first 3 to 4 turns, they will 100% end up killing you first. So yeah, look at how much damage Escanor ended up taking there just because of the blue buff on SKOLL. Yeah, we do the heal, throw the Escanor ultimate, and then... Do I not go for that play? Oh no, we throw the Freya ultimate. I don't know why I went for that first. And we definitely need the lifesteal in Escanor. Oh no, the ultimate. Yeah, what am I thinking? Nice 700,000 from Freya, and we'll move on to the final floor. Crazy much easier this content has gotten as well. I honestly prefer versing SKOLL and HATI so much more than I do the deer raid. Eichner is such a pain. The RNG thing I don't think will ever get better unless we get a character that makes it so that whole passive with the deer is completely nullified. It is such, and then at that point it becomes so easy to the point where it'd by far be easier than Bird. Bird you definitely have to think about, and there's so many different changes in passives and how you have to play each floor. Pretty much once you get to the final phase of the first floor, you're thinking about, you know, what kind of cards you have to save up for the next phase, but this third and final one here just ends up being a super tanking compared to the other two, so definitely be the longest out of the couple of floors. I think at this point too, it's not a must to go ahead and finish the third and final floor, but THONAR definitely helps out, and with her being on the Melios, and I believe she was on the Escanor banner as well, people should definitely be picking her up by this point. I've seen a whole lot of people been saving up thousands of gems for the Purgatory Melee just because they knew how good the New Year's banner was last year, and I mean, for good reason. I still think this might be the best banner we've had in Grand Cross history, which is, I mean, absolutely crazy to go ahead and think. Man, look at how much tank you are. If we had had a buff cancel card, would have been really important there. A whole lot of people don't really like using this Elizabeth either. They think using the Skadi, I mean, Skadi's probably better. You're probably able to get through the floors a lot quicker, but I just feel as if though she is a lot more reliable when it comes to the ult gain, all that kind of stuff from her ultimate. Just her kit in general, I find is really nice. Can be a tad bit squishy as well. So there we go for the stance cancel, buff removal, and we should just go ahead and use the Skadi ultimate, or the THONAR ultimate, but for some reason I go ahead and waste time. It wouldn't have killed either, but I mean, it's... No, maybe I was right. Maybe I am a lot better off saving that for the second phase instead, because like I was talking about earlier, that one ends up doing a lot of damage. Calculated decrease. And yeah, you definitely want to hold on to your heal cards as well here. Let's see what I wanted to go ahead and do, because I mean, I would like to go ahead and do these and talk about them live whilst I'm actually doing the event, but oh yeah, there we go. I end up using the Skadi card anyway. Oh, and I end up using the Freya card. Wow. Guess I just really didn't want to have to deal with the ultimate. It can just take so many attempts sometimes, or if I have to go ahead and talk over the whole thing 3 times, I figure why not? I can simply record the whole thing, cut down the attempts that I succeed at, and then go over it like this. It's a little bit less of me going thinking about what I'm doing the whole time and actually showing some decent gameplay. It also can be very heavily related on RNG. I was also watching videos at the same time as doing this, so I'm surprised this is the first part where we've gone completely blank. Hello, Vlad? Are you there? Oh no. Hold on, let's see if I can skip forward in the video a bit. Okay, perfect. Sweet, so we go for attack cards there. Once again, holding on to the stance cancel, very important. And then holding on to the heal just in case they put the infect on us. Escanor is just able to absolutely throw out damage, and with the Scorch effect, being able to ignore damage caps is always very strong. That's why Freya is pretty much god in all of the Demonic Beast battles. Having a Death Ultimate makes him so powerful, and he's simply just a lot better of a character than the Blue Escanor is. Blue Escanor is probably still a tad bit better in PvP, a little bit better CC, all that kind of stuff, but yeah, Freya, if you can end up summoning him, even without having ults in, or dupes in his ult level, very good character. And then I think this should be able to... No, we're end up... Oh no, don't. We are definitely killing there. Escanor just casually throwing out almost 600,000 damage. And then yeah, this Cleave card as well. Cleave is also very strong for boss fights because a lot of them can have super high crit resistance. Going into this third and final phase, I was a little skeptical with the HP we're rocking, which I think will end up having me use the Escanor ultimate and then instantly healing, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, that'd be the right play, yeah. Wasn't sure if I wanted to go ahead and merge those either, so we just used them separately, but same thing as third floor, or as the second floor, going on to the third. Definitely want to try and kill HATI, which is the dog on the right here, the one with the sun kind of effect on him. Not much damage, but I think that ends up getting us the Freyr ultimate, which once he's dead, same thing. Survival, keep pushing through, go ahead and kill SKOLL. Wow, once again, not much damage on Elizabeth. A lot tankier than expected. Yeah, and they really like to go ahead and target the one character once you get into some of the final parts. Yeah, Freya should be able to finish off here. Our hand's looking absolutely terrible. They don't have anything that we can get to merge for extra card space, which would be nice. Pretty much forced to use the heal. I probably should have gone ahead and used that at the end of the turn because we could have potentially procced another part of the passive there. The THONAR. Yeah, I'm surprised I actually managed to survive this one. Surely we didn't end up losing anyone. Escanor tanking a lot better now. And then with the Holy Relic as well, extra recovery rate, stuff like that. I was hoping we'd get extra basic stats. I feel like extra HP could be really nice in this, or even extra defense. I know defense doesn't affect a crazy amount, but still, sometimes your characters can feel a little bit squishy, that's for sure. Pretty much using the Escanor cards in the earlier half, because once again, if we can proc more of the THONAR passive, we can get a little bit more extra damage on the cards that are a little bit weaker, cards that might not already proc the damage cap. And then I think at this point I go ahead and get... Oh, Escanor gets frozen. Jesus. Let's see. Does this really end up killing? Surely not, right? Oh, okay, no, so we end up getting the ult removal, and then, yeah. At this point, you guys see I have all of my ultimates. We finish off with the THONAR there, and then we get the beautiful victory screen with this amazing skin. Holy man, such a good job. I love it when they make them match up with the Holy Relics, but I do still have my regular Grand Cross. Ooh, some blue stones right there. We'll go ahead and launch this one up here, and then we'll head over to the creature nest. If my game wants to go ahead and load, that is. Perfect. SKOLL and HATI. So this is the team I was running. Quick look at the gear. I won't go ahead and run all the associations rolls because, I mean, generally try and get them as high as possible. If not, you should be fine. For the artifact set, having the SKOLL and HATI set, level 5. Definitely want to get it to level 3. I feel like once getting to level 4, it does get a lot harder anyways, but definitely as a must have this set at a level 3. And we'll go ahead and have a look at the Escanor. Our Escanor is 3-6. Didn't really want to go much further on the banner. He'll end up coming back around for coins again, and then I'll just buy the rest of my way through the levels. Exact same thing I did with the Esterosa. He's finally returned on the Escanor banner and then bought my way through the rest of them. Freya been 6-6 for a little while now. Running him on the attack crit set as well. And then cosmetics. I think I've only invested into his weapons. He's really only a damage dealer in my eyes, so didn't think I needed to put a whole lot into the other parts of him. Ultimate for Elizabeth is 6-6 as well. Running the Elizabeth gear should be a little bit more hammered out considering how important Light Liz is. And then yeah, cosmetics are... Oh, okay, so I've actually invested into the headpiece a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And then the THONAR ultimate move is 3-6. Here with those attack crit resistance rolls, again, very important. Crit resistance is very strong for this. The crit damage multipliers the dogs can have is absolutely wild. And the cosmetics, invested into more than I thought I would have, in all honesty. And then yeah, that about does it. 100% if you can have the red Tamil, put that one on the THONAR, going to be super important, but that about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If so, please hit the like button, subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.